My name is Michael Hagan, and today here at Carrollton Christian Fellowship, our daily Bible reading comes from First Chronicles chapter 3 through chapter 5. And our daily devotional comes from the very beginning of First Chronicles chapter 3. And what we see here is we see that the line, the family, and the posterity of David is mentioned here. And we see a few of the key individuals and a few of his sons that are mentioned here. One of these sons that are mentioned is a son here in First Chronicles chapter 3. So his second son, Daniel. We don't know much about him. The word doesn't go too far into him, so we won't go and read into it. But we do know from 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 3, the name that is given there of this second son of David meant the one that is like his father or like his father. And so that is and should be the desire of every family and of every father, is that any son of theirs will have the same heart of them that they have of the Lord. So David was a very mighty man of faith, a very mighty man after God's heart. And so that should be the same desire that we should have as men, and those of us that are fathers should have for our sons and for our children, is that they will be just like their father in having a faith that is always growing and is always conquering the things in their life that desire to take us away from the Lord. And that's exactly what David did. And so the naming of this son of his, Daniel, and as we see in 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 3, the one who is like his father, that's the desire that David desired to see in and to be a part of all of his children. We also see in verses 4 through 9, we see that further, once David, the second half of his reign, once it moved into Jerusalem, and we see the faithfulness here of the Lord, and that how the Lord was faithful to all the people of Israel to bring their king into the land that God had promised, where God would set up and establish his name. And also we see that the faithfulness of the Lord to David, that even to him specifically, the faithfulness to David to bring him into the place that God would desire and to put his name. And so may that be a desire and a goal of each one of ours, is to see all of us, to see every single individual come into the relationship and into the closeness of having and dwelling where the central focus of the Lord is in our life, to have the Lord dwelling there. And also, as us individually, to have the Lord, to have us personally always close, right there, right next to where the Lord desires us to be. So I hope that this can be an encouragement and can be something to spur us along, to encourage us to be close to the Lord, just like David. There are plenty of or several things within the word that we see with David. David was not perfect by any means, but that we should seek and always go after having a heart that is always seeking the Lord. And when we do mess up, when we do make mistakes, we do exactly what we're going to see here throughout the rest of First Chronicles, that David turned back to the Lord. David repented and always sought to have restoration with the Lord. So take care. Hope you have a blessed one, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.